in, and then you tighten it out a little bit. So this doesn't disconnect as you're working.
Wow.
So it kind of leaves it.
When you're up there.
Pro tip of the day. I know you're
Yeah.
you're like, damn it. You're getting back down. I'll get back up.
And then this machine is very loud, so I always wear one of these. It's actually it's louder as you're working on the inside. So I wear. And then the amount of dust that so this thing like shreds wood, like it completely shreds it. So on the inside and on the outside, it takes a lot of wood out. So I usually wear eye protection.
And face.
So we're gonna take the nails out. So this is another good tip. So for code, you have to space your sheathing 1/8 of an inch in between sheets. So it allows for expanding and contracting. So a good tip is you just put a nail and then the nail adds it. So this has a little arrow that, I mean, you can go different ways, but preferably
Go with the arrow.
So preferably, it tells you to go to the right as you're kind of maneuvering through. So once you're at the top, you end up moving left, but you start from left to right as you're going through. And then also when you're working with this type of machine, if for some reason it gets caught on you because it has so much power, you just let it go. Since it's in there, you don't want it to kind of pull you as you're going through it.
You mean if it gets caught on the wood, let it go, or?
Well, if it gets to the point where it's dangerous and it's pulling you, let's say if you're doing one of the walls up there and you're on a ladder,
Yeah.
don't try and stop the machine by holding on to it.
And
It takes you out of balance and then you fall off.
If you let go, what will happen? It'll
cut through the wood, but you'll be alive.
Well, I don't know, I haven't tried it. And I haven't looked at any videos on trying to do that. So you want to put it in first and then you get it started. Saw that little snap? So I took it out a little too early.
Window right there.
You want to kind of see where you want to double check. Some of the working here, so I'm going to So this on the outside, you don't see much wood grains here. Wait until we get on the inside, and I'll show you guys. So this blade here is specially made where it's got a little rotating, nozzle here. So this kind of guides you as you're rolling through, and this allows you to. It also acts like as a stop. So when you kind of get to that corner, this little wheel stops it and kind of guides you. And then if you notice, I sometimes had to come back because this has so much power that it starts kind of taking you off course. But this little wheel here guides you. So you go back until you get to that stopping point, and then you start guiding it again. And then it's got so much power that you can always go back, and then you open it. It took me maybe about, I don't know, 5 minutes, 7 minutes to do a window. When my dad was doing the other window, he had to make sure that he was going straight. He had to line everything up, and then he had to go with that handsaw and then kind of figure out how you're going on a straight line. Plus, it's more dangerous because you're working with a saw on on a different level. So, once advanced people know how to do it, but I wouldn't take the risk.
What is this tool called?
It's a router tool.
A router tool.
So they use this tool in a lot of furniture making to be able to kind of do all the various type of routing tools, and they have different type of blades and bits that does different things. It's an extremely powerful little tool, but it allows you to do and that's where the little wheel here allows you to cut straight.
So is that wheel basically following the studs inside?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So we've already framed this, and when we framed it, you have your.
Oh, I see it just moved because it was fumbling.
Yeah. So if you're on one of these things, so this here runs flat to your wall or whatever surface you're working on. So once you're running flat on that, the bit with the little rotating acts as a wheel that goes through, and when it gets to the corner, it kind of tells you that you're supposed to change directions because it's got nowhere else to go.
So when you put the guide holes in, that was literally like a point of reference, but not even because the drill from where you're drilling is not going to be right in the corner.
Correct.
Okay.
So my dad that's way faster at this than I am. He does it just from one hole, and he does the whole rotating thing. But if you've never done this before, it's always more advised to have your 4 holes already.
Yeah. Connect the dots, as opposed to trying to eyeball it, figure it out as you're going. You're like, oh, here comes the train.